We'll gather round, feel the love compound. Blue elephant is strong. Together.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is into resin day. Now I have had these for a little bit and I'm just now getting around to them. First up we have the sun and moon little pendant mold, which I think is super cute. We're going to be doing that very soon. This one I've had my eye out on since last Christmas and I just never got around to doing it. Now this is the Christmas, it's a pen holder, like little cup type deal. And honestly, I can't remember because there's two of them that I really like. I like the poinsettia one and I like the bell one, and I can't remember which one I got. So when we do this here soon, I guess we'll both be surprised because like I said, I can't remember. This one right here is, I think it's a new one this year. I don't remember seeing it last year. It is a crystal ornament mold. Now, online, it looks really beautiful. I have some ideas for this that's going to change things up, different ways we can do it. And then last but not least, the mold that we are going to use today is their large diamond tray mold. Now, I have an idea, and I don't know if it's going to work. You know, I've been on this like decoupage thing here lately, and I want to try something. What I want to do is I want to see two things. Can we do it in reverse? And can I do it and have like a distorted type look to it to where maybe you can tell what the images are, maybe not, just see, like, I realize it's going to be distorted, but can we make it work so that it looks cool, right? So the first thing I did was I mixed up some Let's Resin epoxy, and I am just going to put it in here. Now, all I want covered, I just want a very thin, clear layer. We're going to put a background color on this, obviously, but I need the clear because the images that I'm going to be putting on, I need to be able to see through, right? So, and I only want it just as deep as all of the little diamond pieces in there. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want it to go up too high. Now, that being said, I could have honestly used probably another 3-ish ounces. Just because some of the areas where like the facets come up, you know how they go down and then they come up and you got the higher bits of silicone from the depth of the facets that they use, were a little high and didn't quite get covered up, which in turn I had to do something else so that I didn't have to pour another layer of clear epoxy on. We'll get to that when we get to that here in a few moments, but I'm just going around with my silicone tool. We're going to give it a quick spray of alcohol to pop any bubbles. Let this baby cure. Okay, so this is the next day, and you can see up in that top left-hand corner where the facets, those sections of silicone are coming out. That's going to have to get covered, so we're going to have to fix that here before we continue on that part. But first, these are the napkins that I chose, and I thought that it could be a cool idea, just the way that these pumpkins kind of are in the corner of the napkin, that we put it on all 4 corners of this. Now, I just really want the images. I don't necessarily want the rest of the napkin on there. So I'm just going to take my Mod Podge and I'm going to put a layer down. And then, seeing as I learned from my last video where I put some of the stuff that I cut, like the papers and whatnot that I cut, I didn't cut it small enough so it was touching the edge of the mold. Well, I want to make sure that I'm not doing that this time. So I am making sure that you can see the mold all the way around and it's not touching any of the edges of the mold when I do this. And then all I'm going to do is I'm taking the Mod Podge, putting it over the back of the napkin, pushing it down, getting it all nice and straight, even as can be. And then I'm going to dip my paintbrush into some water, and just around the edge of that image, I'm going to just saturate it with water and then take my scribe and kind of help pull that napkin apart so that the edges are faded and not a harsh line cut. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm going to do to the 4 corners. Now, when we get to, well, I'll talk about it when we get to it. I'm going to do this real quick and I'm going to bounce off. And then when I come back, we'll talk about how I'm going to fix that one corner that I talked about and continue on with this project.
Yeah, got a spark. Yeah, it hit my brain. Oh, yeah. Like a lightning bolt on a speeding train. Cooking up something might be insane. But hey, what's life without a little strain? Ha, ha, ha. Gonna take a leap, gonna roll that dice. Is it fool's gold or solid advice? Will it fly? Will it crash? Fly, crash. Is it gold? Is it trash? Gold, trash. On the edge, let me try. Come on. Come on. Will it fly? Got my notebook, pens on fire. Scheming so hard I'm about to perspire. Will it boom or backfire? Oh, this suspense is taking me high. Try to push the pedal, gotta let it go. Let it go. Sink or swim, yeah, we'll never know. Will it fly? Will it crash? Fly, crash. Is it gold? Is it trash? Gold, trash. On the edge, let me try. Come on. Come on. Will it fly? Will it fly? Oh. Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm back. So I got the first 2 corners done. Now it's time to fix this. And aside from pouring an entire another layer of epoxy and waiting for it to cure, I decided that I'm just, because I only have a spot here and one spot on the opposite side to kind of fix. And I thought UV resin will work just fine for this. I just need to make it a little higher. Now, it's not going to be level. I don't think that that should matter in the end. Now, if this was the front, obviously, but as far as for the image, I don't think it's going to make a difference because there is going to be that distortion from the diamond facets anyway on the front side. So in theory, that shouldn't matter. In theory. I guess we'll find out when we demold. I don't know. Like I said, this is all kind of an experimentation. I'm not really sure if any of it's going to work out. We're just going to, we're going to try. Because if you don't try, you'll never know, right? Okay, so on to the next 2. Now, I did cure the UV resin for about 3 minutes in each part just to make sure that it was totally cured and we don't have any issues with seeping resin because nobody wants that, right? I'm going to put these last 2 on, and then what I want to do with the other napkin, because the colors semi-go as far as what the image colors are, but the actual, like, background of the napkin doesn't match at all. Now, are you going to be able to tell the difference when it's demolded? I don't know. At least not from what we're trying to do. Now, obviously, if you're doing it on something else, most likely, yes. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure about a lot of things in this. We're just gonna see how it goes. So, what I decided to do is, I feel like the middle, like in between the 2 corner pieces, needs something. Not like the center of the tray, but the middle sides, right? I feel like it needs something. So we're just going to take a couple of leaves out, and I'm going to cut them out at first, and then we're going to wet around the edges after I get them on and, you know, kind of glued into the area that I want them to be. And then we'll kind of feather out that napkin a little bit just to make it so it's not quite so harsh. Again, whether or not you're even going to be able to tell, I don't know. But I feel like something else needs to be there if you can. So that's what I'm going to do. And then in between the two shorter sides of the tray, we're going to just throw in a couple of acorns and see how it goes. We're going to do some other things before we wrap this part up and before we put on our back layer. So just as I go through this process, there's not a whole lot more I can talk about that I haven't already mentioned or whatever. I'm gonna bounce off again real quick, and then I will be back when we are ready for the next step.
Yeah, yeah. I was chilling on my couch, just snacking on some chips. Ooh yeah, brain so blank, like the TV when it skips. Yeah, then bam, it hit me like a bolt from the blue. I got an idea, y'all know what do? Got a groove idea. Say what? Got a groove idea. Ooh yeah, it's tickling my brain like a funky chandelier. Yeah, got a groove idea. Gonna make it clear. Come on, it's a funky, funny thing. Let me bend your ear. Yeah, I thought, should I write it down or just dance it out? My feet said move, but my brain had doubt. Oh no. So I grabbed a pen, but it wrote in loops. Now I'm moonwalking circles, feeling super smooth. Snap, clap, twist it to the right. This idea's funky, y'all. It's out of sight. Got a groove idea. Say what? Got a groove idea. Ooh yeah, it's a wicked little thing like a disco sphere. Yeah, got a groove idea. Gonna keep it here. Oh yeah, it's popping in my mind like a beat you hear. It's like a puzzle in my brain, a funky Rubik's Cube. Every turn I make, it's got a groovy attitude. Should I sing it? Should I shout? Should I play it on kazoo? Somebody tell me what's a funky soul to do.
Leaves are falling all around, colors covering the ground, jumping in a pumpkin patch, smiles wide and hearts attached, sweaters cozy, crisp and bright. He rides in the chilly night, sipping cider, holding hands, dancing in the golden winds. Autumn fun, oh can't you see, laughing under maple tree. Pumpkin patches fall to light, hearts are warm, the world feels right. Bonfires lighten up the sky, moonlit nights go running by, crunching leaves beneath our feet, magic moments oh so sweet. Twilight falls, the stars appear, whisper secrets in your ear. Nature show, a sight to see, lost in autumn's melody. Autumn fun, oh can't you see, laughing under maple tree. Pumpkin patches fall to light, hearts are warm, the world feels right. Under maple tree, pumpkin patches fall delight, hearts are warm, the world feels right.
I Took a shoe and made a phone that rings. Turned a sock into a bird with wings. A mop became a wig so bold. Who needs gold when you've got mold? Think it, make it, twist it, shape it. The world's a canvas, don't escape it. No need for rules, just rearrange it. Life's a game, go on and change it. I glued some spoons into a boat so fine. Sailed the sink, yeah.
Okay, I'm
it's
back.
all mine.
So at this point, I just want to point something out to you, and I'm going to tell you why after we demold and actually like bring it to your attention in the final results. The amount of Mod Podge I'm using is way too much. Like, you want it to be enough that it's a nice thin layer that whatever it is that you're decoupaging on doesn't move, right? And it's secure. But I'm using way too much. Mod Podge is essentially like Elmer's glue or any other PVA glue. Like, it dries clear, yes, in thin layers. However, when you have these big, huge blotches of white everywhere, which is honestly like too much, when it dries, it has a white appearance to it. So, just for those of you who maybe have never done anything like this, don't do what I did and use so much Mod Podge on this. It's just way too much. So what I decided to do was I put glue, as you've seen, all around the edges because I wasn't loving the fact that you would be able to see. Now, granted, it would be the background color, and you're going to see that anyway, right? But I just thought that it should be a little more festive, a little more kind of flowy with what the images are. So I decided to use this really gorgeous, chunky orange holographic glitter that I thought would look really pretty. Now, hindsight, again, if this was a flat piece, okay, if we were doing this backwards on a flat piece, ultimately you would probably want the glitter down first because then it would hide those edges of your image, like where the napkin is ripped or the hard edges from the side, like on the bottom and sides of the pumpkins or whatever. It would hide it. Essentially what this is doing is if we are working right side up, so if we are looking at the front of it, right, and the back was where the mold is, then this would be the way to go because it would hide those edges, right? So ultimately, if you were to do something like this on a flat piece, I would suggest doing the glitter first and then letting that dry and then putting your image on. This way, at least you're hiding around those corners if you can. Now, I did decide I wanted to, again, do the inside of this and like the inside around the images and do the same thing with the glitter. Just because that's what I wanted to do. I thought it was the right move, so that's what I did. And then I just took my silicone tool around the edges and kind of moved the glitter around so that it was touching the glue and spread it out some. And then here I decided that we're just going to use the paintbrush to do it because the silicone tool was just not, it wasn't working very well with me. So I thought the paintbrush would be a better thing until I realized that all the glue was getting stuck into the bristles, and that was fun to clean. But all of this doesn't matter if you don't choose the right background color. So you can do all of this and take all of this time to do all of this, but the one thing that I have learned in doing this one in particular is don't choose a dark color. So I thought this eye candy, I think it's queso green. It's a beautiful green, don't get me wrong. Absolutely stunning. And it 100% goes with the color scheme that I've got. However, because the napkins are so thin, right? This was not the way to go. Ultimately, a yellow, like a lighter yellow might have worked. possibly even a light-ish orange could have pulled on those colors and just given them some more vibrancy. White or some kind of like a creamy color would have gone really, really well. Green was not the way to go. It just wasn't as gorgeous as this green is. It was not the right color choice, which in my head, when I was picking the color, I was picking a color that went well with the colors that I had going on and not thinking about the transparency of the paper, which is what you need to be thinking of more than almost anything at this point in doing this. Because if you can't see the image, it doesn't really matter much anyway, does it? Anyway, so this part took about, I think, like 18 more ounces of resin. This is a big tray, guys. Huge, but absolutely stunning. I mean, stunning tray. So we are just going to wait for this to dry, see what happens, and keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. That's really all you can do at this point. Now, here we are 24 hours later. Now is the moment of truth. Did any of it work, or did I just waste my time and a whole lot of resin? Ultimately, I think it would be smart to try ideas like this. Like I'm all 100% about experimenting and doing different things. However, it'd probably be a smarter option to experiment on something smaller that uses way less resin. Here we are. Now you can see what I'm talking about. The green, just it's too dark for the images. Like you get the distortion, you can kind of just make out what some of the images are, but not. I was hoping to be able to make out a little bit more, I guess, in theory. I mean, it still looks cool. It's not at all what I really was hoping for, but I did learn a lot of things on the way. Now, I don't know if you really can't see any of the white that I was talking about from here on video, but there are areas where, especially where like like where I put the glitter, where I put way too much of the Mod Podge and it dried white as opposed to clear. So use less Mod Podge, use a lighter color, experiment with something smaller, like maybe a coaster mold, and not quite fill it up the whole way, just to see what's going to happen before you waste a whole lot of resin. Now, all in all, it's okay. Like, I don't hate it, but I definitely don't love it. But I did learn a lot from it. You know, not to use a whole lot of Mod Podge, not to go too dark on the color. You got to think about it like if it's rice paper or any of those things, when you add that kind of stuff into it, that you're not adding it on top, so you don't get that see what's happening right then and there. It's very transparent. Like I said, it is distorted. We do kind of get that. It has potential. It has potential, a lot of potential. It's just you got to make the right choices in the colors, I think, to make it work. Anyway, that's a wrap on this one, guys. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I will see you on Thursday in the next one. Love ya. Bye.